Welcome to the Phenomenal Podcast. I'm your host, Rohnit Thind, and today, in episode 1, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. There's a movie out there called I Am Mother, and in the movie, it begins in what is described as a repopulation facility one day after the extinction event of an unknown nature. Text over to the opening shots explains the facility is stocked with 63,000 human embryos. Save for the audience observing eye, there are no humans inside. In a largely wordless opening sequence, the robotic mother comes to life, seemingly ready to begin the hard task of repopulating the world. It is an interesting scene to go back to once you've been seen in the movie and you realize that this robot and the extinction event has a whole lot in common with each other. She's not a failsafe in the case of extinction. She's the cause of it. And Mother is about one of many faces. A teenage girl is raised by her mother, or known as a robot, designed to repopulate the earth. Their bond is tested with a strange arise with alarming news. Frustrating but engrossing, and impossible to critic in depth without spoilers because it is driven by regular plot twist. I Am Mother adds another memorable creation to an already packed gallery of intelligent science fiction robots that are as complex as humans. But coming over to AI. An AI in computer science terms, it is meaning that it is intelligence demonstrated by machines, in contrast to natural intelligence displayed by humans and animals. Leading AI textbooks define the field as the study of intelligent agents. Any device that perseveres its environment and takes action that maximizes its chance of successfully achieving its goals. But in the terms of artificial intelligence, it's often used to describe machines or computers that mimic cognitive functions that humans associate with the human mind, such as learning and problem solving. As the machines become increasingly capable of tasks considered to require intelligence are often removed by the definition of AI, a phenomenon known as the AI effect. A quip in Tesla's theorem says AI is whatever that hasn't been done yet. For instance, optical character recognition is frankly excluded from the things considered to be AI, having become a routine technology. Modern machines capable generally classified as AI include the successfully understanding human speech. Capabilities generally classified as AI include successfully understanding the human speech, competing at its highest level in the strategic game systems, such as chess and Go. Autonomously operating cars, intelligent routing and content delivery networks, and military simulations. Artificial intelligence was founded as an academic discipline in 1955, and in the years since has experienced several waves of optimism, which, if you think about it, is 65 years difference ever since we have discovered of artificial intelligence. So why should we research its safety, first of all? That's my question. And how I see is that, well, there are some who question whether strong AI will be ever achieved, and others who insist the creation of super intelligent AI is guaranteed to be beneficial. At a FLA, we both recognize of these possibilities, but also recognize then the potential for an artificial intelligence system to intentionally or unintentionally cause a great harm. I believe research today will help us better prepare for and prevent such a potential negative consequences in the future, thus enjoying the benefits of AI, avoiding pitfalls. Well, how can AI be dangerous, Because if you think about it, the AI is programmed to do something devastating. Autonomous weapons are artificial intelligence systems that, are programmed to be killed. In the hands of the wrong person, these weapons could be easily cause mass casualties. Moreover, an AI arms race could invariably lead to an AI war that also results in mass casualties. To avoid being thwarted by the enemy of these weapons could be designed extremely difficult to simply just turn off for humans. possibly lose control in such situation, the risk is one of the present even with narrow AI because of the growth of levels of AI intelligence and autonomous increases. And there's so many ways that this could go wrong, because if it falls under the wrong hands, or if there was like an error or there was a human error that was created while programming these AI, there can be mass, casualties that could happen. And if those go happen, then what are we gonna do? There's no way that we could stop them unless we have like off button, but they're gonna override it. So then we couldn't, because we have built these machines to be smarter, better in every way than us. But the main concern is that about advanced AI isn't malevolence, but competence. A super intelligent AI will be extremely good at accomplishing its goals. And if there are goals that aren't aligned with ours, so we have a problem then. Because you're probably not an evil ant hater who steps on ants out of malaise, but if you're in a charge of a hydroelectric green energy project and there's an anthill in the region to be flooded, too bad for those ants. A key goal of AI safety research is to never place humanity in the position of those ants. And we don't want to even cross the line to be even there, because once we do, oh man, we are gone for sure. But does artificial intelligence actually exist? And most people were first exposed to the idea of artificial intelligence from Hollywood movies long before they ever seen it to the day-to-day lives. This means that many people misunderstand the technology we think about common examples that they've seen in movies or television shows. They might not realize that the killer robots they have been created to sell emotional storylines and drive the entertainment industry rather than to reflect on the actual state of AI technology. The thought of AI can also make people very nervous, especially if they are really worried that they might lose their jobs to AI tools. Because of their fears, there's a lot of fake news and misinformation that gets spread about artificial intelligence really quickly. AI does exist and is already being used in many industries. Because it is developing so quickly, it can be hard for us to imagine the eventual impact that will have on our world. Right now, AI is extremely good at dealing with very narrow tasks, analyzing data and making accurate decisions based on the data. However, it is not necessarily very good at doing several kinds of tasks all at once. For example, this is known as narrow AI. Artificial intelligence is very good at successfully driving a car, as self-driving cars using the same AI tool for fraud protection, as many banks and financial institutions are starting to do, but it would not work. While you can develop a AI tool to go very deeply into one task, it cannot usually do two very different things at the same time, just like a human would. But with general AI, which refers to artificial intelligence being able to do multiple things simultaneously, it is something that experts have been practicing for many years. But, however, based on my own research that I have found, I believe it could take many years and probably even decades to fully achieve this. So far now, we should focus on bringing narrow AI into as many industries as possible. But it does have its fall downside. When we're putting them into every single industry on Earth, that means we're losing jobs. And then our unemployment rate is going to be skyrocketing very quickly, just like this time. But if we're going to be doing that, then, we need to be much more careful about how and which we need. Because for like production, we should have autonomous robots. But then for like cashiers or kind of just very low minimum jobs should be to where it should be only robots there. But on higher level education where people can go and still have the right to go to school and all and receive a higher education that they could work at, that's probably something they could use at. But here are some common AI terms that you should really know, because AI is made up of a complex set, as you can say, of different technologies. This means that as the field grows and evolves, we'll start to see more terms being used to describe what does the technology does. But here are some of the most common AI terms that you should know. And the first one is algorithm. By the step-by-step method that uses a computer to complete each task. Since a computer understands numbers the best, or known as ones and zeros, the steps are put together as mathematical equations. For example, if x equals 1, then you plug in that term into its x term. Artificial neural networks is basically the term used to refer to AI systems that simulate connected neural units, modeling the way neurons can interact into the brain. Cognitive science, a discipline that examines the various processes of human brains, such as language, information processing, and decision making. The goal is to discover more about conditioning and deep learning. The use of neural networking consists of many layers and large numbers of millions of artificial neurons. Deep learning is perfect for projects involving huge complex data sets. A expert system is a computer system that models the decision-making ability of a human expert. The expert system are based on a rule and normally use if-then statements. Well, another term that you should be kind of familiar is computer vision. This kind of refers to a computer's ability to see. It's important. It's important because now computers relied on human reporting. For things that require vision, now computers can mimically this ability. Computer vision can be used for many purposes, especially in the security industry and for quality control. These applicants for computer vision will be wide-ranging and are likely to grow in the next few years. These are already cloud-based computer. Vision services that allow companies to buy the technology from the outside vendors so they can take advantage of it right away without having to create their own tools from scratch. The other term that you should know is natural language translation. The ability of a computer to hear something that is something to say with the back of its to user. You might be familiar with this technology if you ever use a chatbot or a smart assistant like Amazon's Alexa, Google Home, or even Siri that you probably mostly use every day. Thanks to these tools, AI can be used at home and on the go. A smart assistant can research information for us, reading through answers available online and communicating the best results back to us. We can use these tools to ask something like, what is the weather going to be like today? And even more complicated questions and get short and accurate answers back. Over time, these features will continue to grow and develop, allowing AI tools to perform an even harder task, like doing market research for businesses. For now, companies should start becoming familiar with these tools so then they can leverage them quickly and effectively be used and become more advanced. Well, how will artificial intelligence will change the future? The impact that I see of artificial intelligence will be much greater and will happen sooner that we can probably prepare for it. It will be probably likely or to change or disrupt just about everything we have experienced in our lives and society as a whole. These will have a positive impact in many ways, creating opportunities for those who are early to adapt new tools and follow trends as they can happen. But it will also be stressful, disappointing, and confusing for people who ignore and aren't fully prepared for the changes that AI will bring. To stay on top of the charges and challenges that will become on the introduction of AI tools, I recommend watching new trends on 3 different levels. The first level that I would say is individually, just you. It could just be helpful to create a map of ways that the world around us is likely to change over the next 5 to 7 years. To do this, think outside of the box, analyze new trends, and think crucially about the information you encounter. Consider the ways that you can leverage new tools to make a positive impact for yourself and the society at a large scale. Secondly, think of it as a society. Politicians and decision makers need to use big data and AI correctly when making decisions. These decisions should be evidence-based and be able to be independently verified after the fact rather than made on the daily basis of political philosophy. Will be a huge challenge for most countries, but as many policy makers don't have a common understanding the ways that AI can be used to make decisions, to leverage AI tools in the best possible way, there will be consensus among leaders about the way that AI will be used. When applied correctly, artificial intelligence systems can be used positively impact public services and like healthcare, education, and transportation, and many more. These countries that are quickest to apply AI in these areas will gain the greatest benefits. And lastly, for business owners and businesses, many companies are already working into digital economic and should be prepared for the hardness of the power of AI, running pilot projects to test their ideas. For example, a business can begin to create AI-based chatbots for customer service, which there is already. Leadership terms within the company should be thinking about how they can introduce AI into their strategic plan for the next 2 to 3 years, while also considering how their business models could change over the next 5 to 7 years as a result of employing AI technologies. Companies that aren't prepared to use AI may be left behind and probably sadly just go out of business. But you have to keep in mind that AI is very dangerous but very useful. The only thing that I'm worried about is when the government misuses AI. Like, for example, using AI to scam and to spy on natural citizens that are just doing their daily lives. They're being watched, and that's not the way we should be living the American dream. If you want to live the American dream, well, we are a democracy, I hope, but now it feels like we're becoming a socialist country. It feels like this is socialism now, where the leader is able to hear everything. We're being surveillanced now. And now this is the only thing that worries me about AI is that we're being surveillanced. But it does have its benefits to make the economy and the country so much stronger and better. But the main question is, how will these countries will take AI and adapt them into its new systems? And that is why AI is phenomenal.